Hi friends, Paul here. Just wanted to kind of wrap up the salad under Shoplights continuous grow, continuous harvest hydroponic lettuce. And when I started this project, I really did not know a lot about hydroponics, and this was intended to really learn the feasibility of whether this would work and how much it would produce. And I do have a few conclusions. I've harvested for about 2 weeks, and I've got about 2 weeks harvest to go. So here's a few things that I've concluded. First of all, a little bit about the system. There are 2 Shoplights, 4 fluorescent bulbs in each Shoplight. They're 4 foot each, so I've got a garden that's about 2 feet by 8 feet long. And I also have seed starter boxes, each of which has their own dedicated CFL bulb, about 30 watts each, I believe. The reservoirs are about 4 inches deep, and that seems to be a good amount. They're about 20 inches wide and 22 inches long. The capacity is, well, they work well with 5 gallons. That brings the water level above the bottom of the net cup. The net cup is this thing right here, and that keeps the net cup moist so the plants can grow. And the size of this is a 5-gallon reservoir. There are 4 reservoirs, and that's important. 4 is a minimum number. I'm using fast maturing lettuce, and I'm looking for lettuces that mature in 45 days because 2 reasons. I don't have a lot of space. I want to maximize what I can grow in that space. And lighting is expensive. Actually, the lighting is the most expensive part of this. You know, it's almost 10 times the cost of everything else combined. So if you've got a greenhouse and you can grow in a greenhouse, you're going to be able to grow this much cheaper. I'm really doing this because I live up north in Michigan, and we've got a very long winter, and I don't really have the opportunity to grow anything in the winter. And this is essentially a winter project. So what are the results? Basically, what you can expect is to be able to eat 6 to 12 leaves of lettuce every day. And when I started out, I wasn't really sure how I would be harvesting, if I would be harvesting the whole plant or if I would be taking a leaf here and there. And what I found to be the best and what I enjoy eating is to come through and graze. In other words, to just pull off a leaf and eat it. And usually I do this at breakfast time. 6 to 12 leaves. And with this setup, you can expect to do that every day. And it depends, though. If you harvest too much one day, you might have to skip a day. But generally, you know, if you keep it down to 6 leaves, you can do it every day. I also learned that this is not so much about growing food as this is a dietary supplement, because being able to eat fresh leaves, freshly picked from the plant, still alive, still full of living chlorophyll and everything that is in fresh plants. Very, very big dietary supplement and healthy food. So that's really something that I learned about this, and I am very excited, and I do plan to continue, because even though it's only 1 meal a day, I see it as a dietary supplement. How much does it cost? Certainly under $15 a month after you buy everything. And that $15 a month is probably, $11 or $12 of electricity. The rest, seeds, nutrient solution. The rock wool cube, very cheap. If you had a greenhouse, you did not need lights, you could do this for, you know, $3, $4 a month. You could have your, you know, your little breakfast salad every morning. The types of plants that I've been using, I've used green ice lettuce. That's not an iceberg, it's a leaf lettuce. And I've used black-seeded Simpson. Both are good. I'm not sure I have used them enough to have a preference. I actually like both of them, and maybe in the future I'll do some more experiments with lettuce and see which types are better. How to set this up? First of all, don't use the wooden reservoirs. Get plastic bins, and the hole spacing, you're going to have to look for plastic bins that are roughly 4 inches deep, 24 inches wide, and the other dimension is not really so important. 20-inch horizontally wide, that would be a good number. So in other words, 4 inch deep, 24 inches wide, and then 20 inches across. Hole spacing, because these are under lights, the transverse distance center to center probably should be about 6.5 inches center to center, and that's because my lights are 10 inches wide. The bulbs center to center are 10 inches wide, and light does angle out a little bit, so if I have 3 rows, 6.5 inches between, that's 13 inches, then they pick up the light pretty well. And I think that's a good amount for the transverse dimension. The other dimension, I think I'm using roughly 7.5 inches. And I basically tried to equalize the distance between the two reservoirs with this distance, and it came out to be 7.5. I wasn't really that exact with it, but ideally I think 9 by 9 would be good, but when you're growing under lights you got to pack them together a little bit, and just to get a better harvest under lights. If you're in a greenhouse, 8 by 8, 9 by 9, that would be ideal. Just recently I added a fan. It has made a big difference. These plants tended to lay down and were very limp without the fan, and since I've added the fan, the new leaves coming up are standing up straight, and I think they're going to be more crispy, certainly easier to harvest. So that's pretty much an overview, I would say, from a feasibility point of view. Absolutely, this is feasible and it works, and you can get a very important dietary supplement by building one of these. As far as production, you know, 6 leaves to 12 leaves, I guess the best way to put it is it's a small salad. But the way that I eat it is not really as a salad. I just come in, pick a leaf, eat it, pick a leaf, eat it, and this is my breakfast. This is the first thing I eat in the morning. The leaves taste very crunchy, a little bit of sweetness, they're mild flavor, they're not bitter at all. And once again, these fast-growing lettuces are very important to use to maximize your production, and also to keep it to only 4 reservoirs, because what I'm doing is every week I take my harvested reservoir, clear it out, pump all the nutrient solution out, wipe it down, you know, sponge it out, and then take seedlings that have been in their box for 2 weeks and put them in the net cups. That's another part. I have 4 reservoirs, which is essentially 4 weeks of growth, and then I've got the 2 seed boxes, which is 2 weeks of growth. So I'm doing 6 weeks, so 42 days. I'm actually harvesting them a little bit early, but that's good because the younger leaves are milder, tastier, crunchier, and I don't let them get real big. I just eat them fairly young. This would be a typical size leaf. I'm not sure if you can really see it, but that would be a typical size leaf that I would harvest. I usually pick the big ones. I pick the ones that are hanging over the side of the reservoir. Very tasty. Feels very healthy. I mean, I'm not a nutritionist, but I think it's a real benefit to my diet. And will I do this during the winter? Absolutely. During the summer, I may just try to grow outside and use the sun. But one benefit of these over growing outside is they are clean, and I can eat them directly from the garden. I mean, from the grow here, I can pick them. They're clean. There's no grit. I have these fly tape things that are picking up some pests. I have not had a lot of pests since putting those up, and I just pick and eat. You know, it works very well, very tasty. I like grazing, and I think it's very healthy for me. So that's a wrap up. I may do some more work in trying different types of lettuces and may report back on that, but for now I think this is kind of a wrap up. Unless I come up with some great new discovery, that's it for the Salad Under Shoplights Continuous Harvest Hydroponic Lettuce video series. So thank you for watching.